Government is basically taking money from desperate people a couple times a week. And this is not exactly a good investment. I don't know if people are aware of that. Now, I don't have a problem with a lottery that takes a bunch of money from dumb people like myself, and some rich CEO goes off and profit off of it. I don't necessarily have a problem with that concept, but that's not really what's going on here. What I do have a problem with, though, is lying constantly about how much money you're giving away, because you are not giving away $1.02 billion. That is not what's going on here. Okay? It's just like the government to lie to you. That's what they do all the time. And when they say, hey, $1.02 billion, you should get involved in it, I hear the same thing from everybody. I don't normally play the lottery, but it's $1 billion. It's incredible. Is it $1 billion, though? Is it really? Because, of course, when you look at the fine print, we see this. This is on the website. The next estimated jackpot, $1.02 billion. The cash option, $602.5 million. 602.5. Why on earth are they saying it's $1 billion if it's really $602.5 million? What's the alternative? They have the cash option, which I thought was kind of what you did with the lottery. Do they pay you in trinkets? No, there's a bunch of different ways that they do this. They give you the annuity option, for example. The Mega Millions annuity is paid out as one immediate payment followed by 29 annual payments. Each payment is 5% bigger than the previous one. This helps protect the winner's lifestyle and purchasing power in periods of inflation. For a typical jackpot payout of $100 million, the initial payment would be about $1.5 million, and future annual payments would grow to about $6.2 million. And then, of course, if it's bigger, it's more. If it's less, then it's less. So for this particular jackpot, you'd have a first-year payment of $15 million, and then by the end of it, in year 30, you'd have $62 million coming to you. Each payment would be a little bit bigger, and you'd get one every year. And that kind of sounds like it could make sense. We know what happens to lottery winners often. They wind up, homeless within like 2 years. That's usually what seems to go on. Now, of course, almost no one takes that option. Almost no one takes it. And there's a reason for that. But there is the cash option as well, where they just tell you you're going to win $1 billion, and then they just say, well, we'll give you the lower option instead. Cash option, a one-time lump sum payment that is equal to the cash in the Mega Millions jackpot prize pool, in this case, $602.5 million. Now, this says quite a bit about the government and what they think is coming down the road, because they are saying to you, yeah, we're going to have a lot of inflation. In fact, we're going to give you way more, $400 million more if you just let us pay you later. Will we have a government at that point? Who knows? Will there be a United States of America in the year 2050, 2060, 2070? Who knows? But if you're dumb enough to trust us with your money for all that time, we promise to pay you out. I mean, what is $62 million going to even be worth in 30 years? It's going to be worth like 18 cents. You're not even going to be able to get a sandwich for $62 million at the rate. If Joe Biden somehow remains president all that time, I don't even think you'd have 18 cents left. Now, it's kind of amazing that they're going to not only say you get $1 billion, but then they're only going to give you $600 million if you take the cash payout, and then they're going to tax you on the $600 million. So you don't even get the $600 million. You have to pay taxes to the government, who is the same group of people who are actually providing the game for you. Does this make any sense? Now, CNBC broke this down a little bit earlier in the cycle when the prize was only $830 million. So this is like last week. But for the $830 million jackpot, the cash option, which most winners choose, is $487.9 million. A mandatory 24% tax withholding on that amount would reduce your winnings by about $117 million. However, Because the top federal marginal tax rate is 37%, which applies to income over $539,000, and you'd pretty much clear that one pretty easily with this whole entire thing going on, you could expect to owe more at tax time. Yeah, you're going to owe a lot more. If you had no reduction in income, another 13% or another $63.4 million would be due to the IRS. That's $180 million in all. That would reduce the windfall to $307 million. Remember, we started at $830 million. Now, there could also be state taxes as well. And if you happen to be in a city like New York, you'd have to deal with that as well. This is just like false advertising. They're telling you you're going to get $830 million, and you're probably going to get more like $300 or $250. And I don't know, would any other product be able to give these sort of headline claims and not get in trouble? The government goes after companies all the time for minor misstatements in advertisements, yet the lottery gets to do this crap all the time. Now, Bitcoin, geez, look at them. They go down, Bitcoin goes down for a couple of months, and the government is like gathering in dark, cloudy, smoke-filled rooms to shut the thing down. And the same people who are complaining about that are running the lottery. This would never fly if it was not government controlled. It's absurd that you get $600 million less than advertised. And of course, the truth is, at the end of the day, no one complains when you win because you say, hey, I just won $300 million. What am I going to do? Complain about that? And that's the trick. Because it seems like every single person who wins the lottery loses their life in some crazy way. They always ruin it in some way. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you should think about taking the long-term payout. Maybe that will work out better. I don't know. It doesn't seem to do that, unfortunately. It doesn't always work out. I will remind you of the family that won the lottery years ago from a trailer park, which it's kind of a typical story. I think they won $13 million, and they had the option to take the cash amount or get the payments over, I think at that time it was 20 years. They took the 20-year payout. It didn't work out so well. Their story is sort of the quintessential trailer trash wins lottery story. They got the money, they moved to Vegas, they lived in a penthouse for a year, then they moved back, I think it was to Florida, and they bought a new double-wide trailer on a dirt road with like a detached garage full of sports cars. They got on Oprah, they had all the family infighting you'd expect, they sell off their yearly guaranteed income, of course, to get money up front, which is not going to be a good investment. Then they commit alleged tax fraud by claiming they had huge losses, so they, get back a bunch of money from taxes. Then the husband died. The wife winds up going back to the same place they started in an abandoned trailer with no electricity or heat a few miles away from where it started. It's like the typical story. You're probably better off losing the lottery than winning it. So, if you do win it, just make sure to send the winnings to me, and I'll make sure that you don't have any of that money to create all of those problems. Look, the truth is, I have no problem with the lottery in principle. If you want to throw a few bucks in at a 1 in a zillion chance to be rich, who am I to stop you? Go for it. It's the American way. I love it. But why is the government involved in this? There is no need for the government to be running a gambling business to bilk degenerate gamblers out of their money so that they can waste it on paying teachers to school our kids in the nuance of critical race theory. And for all the talk about fiscal responsibility that we hear all the time from our lovely government officials, the government knows exactly what you and I know, that inflation is not only here, but it's going to be here for a really long time. And it's coming so fast that they will pay you $400 million for you to delay payment for a few years, because they know that the dollar isn't going to be worth squat by then. So I say, take the cash up front, even if it is, only a few $100 million after taxes. Who can live on that? At the very least, you should be able to fill your car up with Joe Biden Premium for at least a couple weeks.
If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to our channel so you'll be sure to see similar videos from BlazeTV with the added bonus of signaling YouTube that your voice and opinion still matters. And if you're looking for more great conservative content, check out one of the 2 videos suggested here.